Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. So today I'm going to be installing this 5-port MikroTik 10 gig switch into my home network. So let's go on and do this. So you can see the actual setup at the moment. I did have a coupler in between the two ESX4 and the ESX1 servers. So I've replaced the coupler with the MikroTik. So we're going to the MikroTik now and just show you the configuration. We'll just connect to it. So you can see it's on a default configuration. So I'm going to remove the default configuration and start from scratch. But before I actually do that, I'm going to show you something. So out of the box, the actual MikroTik does forward all the VLANs out of all the interfaces, which I didn't really want. So I wanted to a bit of segregation in there. So you can actually see also the HA1 backup is going across, and this is just complete default setting out of the box MikroTik. So there's no segregation out of the box at all. All the VLANs flow out of all the networks. So let's remove the default configuration, and that should break my connections in between my HA and the two ETM servers. So we should double check that. Let's do a refresh. There you go. See, it's just broken now, and we can check on firewall as well. To refresh, see the HA backup has gone down as well. So as I say, let's start by configuring a bridge for the actual servers. We'll leave the Ethernet interface alone at the moment. We'll just create a bridge for the actual servers. So let's create a server, a bridge called server. Let's type bridge, and we want VLAN filtering. And then what we want to do is we want to go into the ports, and we want to assign the ports to that bridge. So what we'll do is we'll assign SFP plus to a server VLAN, so a server bridge. And we'll also assign the SFP plus 2 to the same server bridge. Okay, so that's the two ports now on the bridge. So the HA traffic still shouldn't work. So let's call up the firewall again. You see there's no, the link hasn't come up. That's because I haven't set up the VLANs yet. So if we create a VLAN, this will be a bridge VLAN. So let's create a VLAN for the HA traffic first. So it's on a server bridge, call it 241, which is the VLAN I use for HA, and we want to tag it on SFP plus 1 and SFP plus 2 at the moment. Okay. So that's our VLAN 241, which is a HA VLAN for the firewalls, the high availability VLAN for the firewalls. So we'll go on here, do a refresh. That should be back up now. So if I disable that VLAN, go back into firewall, give it a second, and it should actually go down again. There you go, it's gone down. So we enable it again, just to prove that it's actually, the filtering is actually working. It's back up again. So that's the HA configured on between the firewalls. That link is configured and working. So if we go back to the actual ETM traffic now, that's still not working. That's because I haven't actually configured the VLAN. So we'll configure the VLAN for the ETM servers. So it's going to be again on bridge server. Create a VLAN, which is VLAN 40, and this is going to be tagged on both the SFP+1 and the SFP+2. Okay, so that's VLAN 40 on there. So now if we go on to this, it's just seeing it's come back up, and it's working again. So just verify that's configured correctly. We'll disable the VLAN, open it back up again, do a refresh. Should be broken. There it is. So can't contact the other server across the link, and we'll enable it again. Open it up again and give it a second. I should give it a refresh. Oh, there you go. So it's come back up. So you can see this segregation is working correctly. So what we'll do now is we'll configure the management settings on the actual MikroTik as well. So let's create a IP address on the Ethernet 1 interface. So it's going to be 172.21.160.10/24. It's going to be Ethernet 1. So I've got an IP address on the management now, but that won't be able to talk to the internet, and also I won't be able to talk to the MikroTik across from different VLANs because it won't be able to route traffic. So if we go to tools here, just to verify if that shouldn't work. So ping to 8 or 8.8.8 shouldn't work. Should not work. It says timing out. Click and apply there. It's still timing out because there's no route. So we go to the IP now, and we'll add a default route so the switch can talk to other devices on other different networks for the Ethernet 1 for management connection. So we'll add a route. So that's default route, and we'll add the gateway of 172.21.160.251, which is the default gateway on the management VLAN. And what we'll do is we'll enable a check VLAN of ping, so it can ping the gateway. So there you go. As soon as I've added the route, I've actually got replies to ping now. So we've got internet connectivity now. So what I like to do is I like to keep anything that doesn't really need internet connectivity really tied down. So ports like maybe enable DNS if a specific device has got to go to external DNS, or allow NTP traffic to the internet. Otherwise, nearly all my management VLANs, I've only got traffic going out to the internet that I'm aware of. Same with my my smart home network. That's completely tied down. If a device specifically needs traffic to the external world, then I'll allow that traffic just from that one device. But all the other devices, if I don't need the specific internet traffic, then I won't allow it. It's completely tied down. It means that those devices, those Internet of Things devices, cannot talk to the external world unless I've allowed them to. So it just ties them down a little bit, so it stops any hijacking of the actual OS or anything. So that seems to be working now. So what I'll do as well, I'll configure the VLAN for the actual vMotion traffic for the ESXi hosts. So that's on bridge server again. So 200, and this is actually untagged. So it's untagged on 1 and untagged on SFP+2. So you could argue the fact that I've got the DMZ traffic across and the vMotion across one link, and you could argue the fact that yeah, I could have VLAN hopping, but because this switch is completely separate from my network and I've isolated the VLANs, etc., I don't consider that to be a problem, to be honest. The DMZ traffic comes into the firewall and is then routed to netted to a private IP address, which then goes to the traffic managers, then goes out of the traffic managers back through to the firewall, and then back to the back-end servers. So I don't really see the VLAN hopping as an issue, to be honest, because of the way it's tied down. I think it's quite secure enough for what I'm using for a home network. Obviously, probably not ideal having DMZ set up in this fashion, but it does for now. It does for my setup. So I'm happy with this, to be honest. I'm happy with this setup. As far as the MikroTik goes, I could actually use the switch OS on this 5-port switch, but it's very incomplete, the switch OS software. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. It doesn't seem to route across VLANs, although some people say it can. If you give it long enough, it should work out. But it's very basic. It's a bit too basic for my use, to be honest. So I'm just going to use the router OS traffic, firmware software, and it should be okay for what I need. It should be ample. I'm not doing too much. It's only doing layer 2 stuff anyway, so it's not too much of a problem. So you can see there we've got it configured up okay, and I think we've got success there now. So thanks for watching, and I'll share another video soon. Thank you.